Broadcast, I'm simply going to elaborate on the reading I just gave you about 12 conical shaped universes, not galaxies. I had to correct myself on that. Of course, from the narrow point at the extension and the viewpoint where Zeus, Yahweh, and all the gods were at the center, the Milky Way was literally the central point of every one of the 12 galaxies where the approaches would come through portals. Portals were basically subspace movement realms. They still exist, and they're all meant for a certain purpose, okay? It's problematic when persons, people, spirits, planets, stars move out of place willfully, and it's not by cataclysm. It basically means doom, okay? The point is this. Azazel was the original Alita battle angel, and I talked about him and the 7 he had that he murdered. Okay. He simply presumed sacrifice rather than obedience in a place where everyone literally other than him, and there were other angels like him, but he was the heights of it. What he spoke at his top height, he spoke from the heights of the highest realm. He could speak, and everything literally was just about parallel with the word of Zeus, or more so because of the metaphysical effect rather than the personal effect. Okay. So he would speak these things, as he said, when he caused destruction, and it literally has caused our world to follow his suit as if he carried the weight. Okay, like he was the words of the men of Judah more fiercer than the words of men of Israel. Okay, every single one of the universes, not galaxies, but universes, is anchored, literally, ultimately. Zeus, Yahweh, and all the gods and the Shaddai goddesses did this as a safety measure to protect them as well, that if a universe became a launching point for attack against the Most High, it would literally just be unanchored and fall. And there is a form of a top-down gravity effect to the abyss. The original cataclysm caused entire universes to fall on top of each other. And they're still just laying down there, burning in antimatter. Most of the sorrows, no decision in it at all. Violation of volition, they had every intention, it didn't matter. This is the power we're dealing with. This is what you'll have to get over, the fantasy world of what I choose to do really mattering. The problem is we are living in the power of volition, of cataclysm, of Azazel. Those are doctrines of demons and seducing spirits. That was not ever invited to be part of our original multiverse scheme, which means the multiverse to 12, okay? Most of the 12 are destroyed because of Azazel's cataclysm and his acts of doom, along with other evil angels like, as I said, Colin Jost, and now I'm starting to find out Jay-Z is actually Jacon. I didn't know that, okay? So I should have known that. So, and those are nomenclatures because they got shafted, okay? But anyway, that's the point. The point is this, yes, the pimp. And the funny thing is the father of the pimp lifestyle. And that's what he's into, big pimp. And he's just out and out with it. That's a very funny parallel. Jay-Z, it really means Jacon. It's a moniker for his original name. Okay. But anyway, the point is this, is that the realms of the mooring suffer decay and damage. Everything has to be repaired. Okay? You can't take the universe for granted. There's a lot of discussion about what we see. What we're seeing in the universe is more decay and damage, which indicates there may be more Azazel type personalities trying to finish off all of the realms and the multiverses, the universes, whatever's left, including us, okay? Malevolent beings. If the most high powerful, you got to get past you that you think no one would do that. No one expected Azazel to do such a crazy stunt, okay? The damage is unspeakable. Like I said, many millions and trillions of people just in the Milky Way galaxy perished that didn't even get a chance to make a decision. Collateral damage is a common part of war and death in life. Friendly fires as well. These are the problems we need to. That's why there has to be such a grip and things corrected in our universe and over all the realms. That's the issue. Okay. Positive control, accountability. Not so much controlling people, but insisting people do what they're supposed to do. Freedom. Freedom means I'm not going to insist everyone do their part. Then that's anarchy. The United States of America states to us, and I'm not speaking against my country, but I'm saying we have to change that. We literally worship Azazelism in this country. And when you lay any claim to being part of the Milky Way galaxy, guess what? you basically, the Milky Way galaxy became a place where you were separated from your eternal soulmate forever. That was what dreams may come, the entire galaxy. That's why you have to disown the Milky Way galaxy, any claim to it, as God removed you, and learn to be your own person in the worst way. So you have to build up your what dreams may come, your dreams like clairvoyance. Everything you do in terms of life and sex has to be done progeny, point A to Z, outside the realm of the Milky Way galaxy. We literally have to learn to be extremely independent, not of God, but of the Milky Way galaxy being anything to us. You have to disown it. It's something worse than a bastard child, and we call it our parent and our progeny. We have to leave it alone. It is a place of absolute doom and death, as I discussed and put in my reading. So I'm reading this because this was actually the original guidebook with the Bible. In this was the guide to the second paradise. The second paradisos was at the bottom, at the base of the lowest of the realms, and it's a place you could leave to and just take your eternal soulmates or soulmates and make love forever. And I did have two originally, so I'm going to go deep because I'm going into lifetimes. I'm going into reincarnations. Okay, reincarnation is real. Okay, reincarnations is chance you get when you lobby for it if you're going to be unjustly wrongly done. Okay, so it's a reality, something else that Christianity embraces, but that is not something that y'all understand. Okay, it is appointed unto man once to die, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing that happens. Because it's appointed doesn't mean it's the absolute. Once again, in the language, we assume and presume and get familiar and eisegete. It is appointed. It doesn't mean that's the only thing that happens. This is something, once again, preachers and we all have followed this path. Parrotism. We're not thinking. Just because it's appointed doesn't mean that's the only thing that happens. Somebody can be appointed president and not fulfill his duties. So it doesn't mean that's all that happens. Okay? God is a God of grace and second and million chances. So when someone dies, lives and dies, and doesn't get their fair share, you may complain, you may not. God will let you come back again, rather than just go to the pit. You could be in the pit and complain. And God will say, okay, since you have a problem with being here in the pyre, I'm going to let you go back and try to fix your problems. It happens. We live through this. It depends on whether you complain, okay? But it depends. Some people, when you're deliberate, when your sin is such that you put people in a permanent state, you won't get another chance. It all depends. It's not as simple as just the assumptions that we claim as Christian people. Got to be real careful with that. And when you read the language, be careful. Okay. Those that don't want to open their minds from such, turn away. Okay. So just giving you a little synopsis. So death, no. Not me and my eternal soulmate or mates. Okay. Because what? Because we're not criminals, and also we're convicted of being eternal soulmates. So it's a huge crux word. It's like a super crux word. Okay, it's a super paradigm multiverse type word. And it's a word that in this book, literally, when it's in its original writings, because it is somewhat to mostly, it's a lot of it's corrupted, a lot of it's not. You just have to learn to discern. Give it to God and just use it. So I do. Okay. It takes you can take it to the second paradise in this life. A place where you literally make love 24/7. It can be done. But it's what y'all want to do mutually as lovers, okay? It's basically in it. These are more things y'all need to know about, okay? Like I said, the Milky Way was the place where the cum flows, okay? It wasn't about your skin color. It was about the orgasms, the vaginal secretions, once again, Necronomicon, and all these other things. The second paradise, the place where the ardor of the woman's satisfaction triggers the man to just continually stay erect. So you feed off each other, you know, like wave. You go into like a microphone feedback loop sexually. So you'll just keep getting louder and louder. You keep pumping up each other's energies. That's really what sex is supposed to be. When all barriers are down, you sexually go into a feedback loop. So you keep pumping each other up. So you keep jacking up each other's pleasure, and you open up more and more. This is the feedback loop sex was meant to create. So I'm going straight for the jugular. That's what eternal soulmates are supposed to do sexually. And that's what you're supposed to seek in a sex act. You open up your veins and arteries, your mind, your soul. And when you continue to expand as two, you start to expand into an intergalactic sexual type, a higher, more expansive form of sex, pleasure, power, satisfaction. You listen so much better. It's in the feedback loop of the coitus. That is crux, heroics, coitus. Okay, so now I'm really taking it deep. Y'all got to dig this. That's why I try to tell you there's so much more to sex than just saying I'm fucking or we're just doing it, because it's all what you say. So you're having the most minimal, sexual, insipid experience, and claiming it's all that. You're taking the worst song and claiming you got the grand pies. Y'all need to listen. You're really missing out. As Ludacris said, you 1 minute fools don't know what you're missing. He really means it. Okay? That's why the girl said in the song, you need to sleep in it. But it's more than sleeping in it. I'm talking like, you can't just trust the emotions and the flesh. You got to take the sexual bull, the Brahma, by the horns, and vice versa, the interaction. It's a twofold thing. It's not just about the man dominating the woman in a sex act. Okay, as the show of Vaingism would indicate, or whatever. It's about two of you functioning together mutually in conjunction. So I'm just going to leave it at that.